8 out of 10 cats does Countdown. John Richardson, Sean Locke, Michelle Wolf, Bob Beckett, Spencer Jones, Susie Dent, Rachel O'Reilly, and your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, a show all about letters, numbers and conundrums. And if you're a viewer of regular daytime Countdown, then I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for your service during World War I. OK, let's meet tonight's players. First up, it's Sean Locke. We've got a bit of a reputation on this show for only saying mean things about John. So, Sean, I'm not saying he's angry, but he's ready to blow at any point, just like John Richardson's mum.
She is 100% watching this.
I met John's mum in a queue, and she didn't seem that sort of person to me.
What was the queue for?
For John's mum. And joining Sean tonight is Michelle Wolf. Michelle is from America, and of course there are subtle differences in how we use English. We say trousers, they say pants. We say lift, they say elevator. We say, I'm unarmed, don't shoot. They say, oops.
Whoopsie.
Up against them this evening, it's John Richardson. John, I know some people say you're a nerdy, geeky, annoying, boring man with no friends and everyone thinks you're a loser, but remember, that's all I got written down. And John's teammate, Rob Beckett. Here's a fun fact. Before becoming a stand-up, Rob worked in a kitchen as an industrial food blender. I can't help feeling that with the glasses, you look like sort of a Nazi scientist.
If I do this, I look a bit like someone from, like, the not-too-distant future.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hello and welcome. I will be your guide.
John, how do you act in an emergency?
I sort of think emergencies are for people who haven't planned properly enough. My daughter's 2 now, and she's obviously it's that age that she's just into everything. And the other week, it was my fault. I looked away for a minute, and I must have left it unlocked because she got into my sock drawer. I turned around and she was pulling everything out, and she was pairing up black socks that she thought were a pair, but they were different kinds of black socks. That takes hours to undo that sort of damage. And, yeah, it's true what they say. You don't think, you just act. You know, I just passed out.
Rob, you're the father of 2. How has having kids affected you?
I put on a bit of weight because we've been having takeaways and not doing as much exercise. I noticed that, so I went to the gym to sort it out, and I had the induction, and the guy said to me, what is it you want to achieve? And I said to him, look, I'll be honest, mate, I just want to be able to drive over a speed bump without my tits jiggling.
How old are your kids now?
Got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I try to have rules with them, like no eating on the sofa, but they don't listen. So what I do is I just change the rules and go, yeah, you can eat on the sofa. So I sort of still have control in a way. But what I've learned is a great tip is don't get too het up on rules. Be willing to change them, or you do get undermined quite a lot.
OK. Michelle, you were involved in a bit of controversy with Donald Trump. Tell us what happened.
Well, first I did the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Then a couple months later, I don't know, 6 months later, the president tweeted at me saying that I was a so-called comedian and I had broken the dinner, which I did. We're not going to use a comedian anymore.
But he didn't even go to the dinner.
No, he didn't. He's, as I said at the dinner, he's the one pussy you're not allowed to grab.
Sean, how do you amuse yourself when you're bored?
Well, Jimmy, I've recently taken up... I've embraced shoplifting. I find shoplifting, it's rewarding. Of course. I've realised that since the, drastic funding cuts, there's really no consequences. And you can just, go and do it. And people are going, yeah, cool. It's like Holland but with shoplifting. Yes, you come and take our stuff. Sure, it's no problem. It's just things after all, Come and take our things and then you take them home.
It's nice. I can feel our studio audience, I think, are being sort of slightly old-fashioned about this. I think maybe they're thinking that...
Well, a lot of people think that you should pay for things in shops, which is... yeah, that's cool, if that's what you're into.
OK. John, have you got a mascot?
Yes, well, there comes a time for all comedians at some point to accept their fate and step back from the dog-eat-dog world of adult entertainment. I am writing a children's story. So, having had a child, I've looked into what kids like, and I commissioned studies to try and find a character kids could really relate to, something brand new, something they'd never seen before. And I've written this book called Salty Sow, which is a entirely brand new character I've come up with. My studies came back and said kids like pigs with names that sound like they've been seasoned. So...
Salty Sow, you can...
Salty Sow.
Independently.
Totally brand new.
Do you think of any other seasonings for it?
There's Horseradish Harry is another character in the... and obviously, when we go global, there's Wasabi Willie. Piri Piri Pete. This is for the UK market, Salty Sow. I've modelled the father on myself. I find that what you don't realise until your kids start watching these programmes is how heavily their behaviour is influenced by the characters they see on telly. So my daughter learned no and pushing something away from these little pricks. So this is a book all about sort of positive role models for kids. So this is a classic story. It starts on the couch. Look at that chaos there. Salty Sow is sitting quietly with Daddy Sow. Are we going to have fun, Daddy? Yes, we are, Salty. We're going to re-alphabetise your books. We're going to have a cracking afternoon. Is that all, Daddy? No. We're going to be even more fun than that. We're going to go around your bedroom, noticing how storage efficiency can be improved. What shall we do after we've sorted the new storage solutions, Daddy? Well, we'll celebrate downstairs with a glass of water and a dry cracker. My issue with a lot of these kids' stories is the way they end. So what happens in most of these? Someone says something mildly amusing and they all fall on the floor and laugh at the same time, which, as one of this country's leading comedians, I've got to tell you, very rarely happens. I'm this funny 24/7, and I'll be honest, my wife, if she rolls around on the floor, she's very rarely with laughter. Mostly, it's a more sort of hair-pulling, how has my life become this way experience.
You're trying for another, are you?
Wife? Can you imagine if I was the one that left? No, she's savage. So obviously with Salty being a pig, if you flick to the end, these end a little bit more graphically, and at the end of every episode, they're killed and eaten. So she's saying there, Daddy, why are we in a sandwich? And he's saying, because, Salty, there are some arseholes who still eat meat. Welcome to the fucking world.
Rob, have you got a mascot?
Yes, I've got a mascot. Basically, sometimes doing this show, morale dips, so I've got something quite inspirational. A lot of people on Instagram put motivational quotes on it. However, I do it through pictures. And I basically take pictures of celebrities and megastars, people that really made it at points in their life when they weren't really making it, to give everyone hope. So I've got these pictures that, will keep my morale up. For example, Justin Timberlake and Britney in all denim. That was a sort of a low point all round for those guys. Here's Peter Andre with some incredible hair. That was actually before he married Katie Price. This is my favourite, I think. This really delivers a message. It's David Seaman. In a sort of sexy black and white pose.
What does he do?
He was and still is an incredible goalkeeper. He's here tonight. Oh, Spunky! They call him Spunky.
Right. Because his last name's Seaman, they call him Spunky?
Yes.
No, really, no. No.
Unrelated.
Well, I wish that was the case.
So these guys I'll be just looking at all the way through just to keep the pecker up if morale is dipping.
Good. Excellent news. Michelle,
Thanks.
have you got a mascot?
I do. I have a mascot. Well, it's like clearly a very stressful time. You know, we have got Trump, and you guys are trying to figure out what you have. And a lot of people have been getting emotional support animals,
It's a good idea, yeah.
which I decided to do as well, but I was a little behind on the trend, so a lot of the good animals were gone. All the dogs were taken. You couldn't get a dog. They needed them for blind people. And so I have my emotional support animal with me here today.
That's a man.
His name is... So I got a tarantula. His name is
emotional
David.
support
Oh, he's touching it with his hands.
Oh, I mean, I will pay you £100 to put that on John's face.
Yeah.
The other way, please. The other way.
Oh, fuck that. I think it's really time for that conundrum, Jimmy.
Oh, he's sneaking off.
You see a spider, and most of the time they're surprise spiders, you know? So you're like, oh no. But this is just David.
If I saw David in my bath, I'd move house.
Well, but that's because you weren't expecting David in your bath. But if you were like, David, do you want to have a bath? And then David was in there, you'd be like, David, join me for a bath.
He doesn't seem massively fond
But
of you, Michelle.
that's the other thing. I'm still winning him over.
I think David needs a support animal.
I find,
He's off.
Yeah, you could probably... I'm absolutely cool with that.
Michelle, you're not scared of spiders, are you?
no, I've got my David.
As soon as I couldn't see him, I completely lost my mind.
At what point is he going to think, I know I've got 8 legs, this woman has thousands of hands? Step off one, there's another one right there.
I know he's relaxing you, and that's what the emotional support animal's for. I sense that it's maybe putting Rob and John off a little bit.
Sean started rocking.
But I didn't jump on my chair.
Do you want to hold him, Sean?
No, fucking no.
OK. Michelle's emotional support tarantula, everyone.
I feel relaxed.
Sean, have you got a mascot?
I do have a mascot, Jimmy. I'm sure you're well aware, more than any of us, about the bottom falling out of the DVD market. How's a comedian to make a little bit on the side these days, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought, time to go into the luxury hamper market.
Ooh.
Yes, that's
Yes.
where the real dollars are. All sourced by me, lovely products sourced and created by me. And it's not a hamper because I realised the wicker, very unsustainable. All the wicker forests have been cut down and there's no wicker left.
OK, what's in the luxury hamper?
Well, first of all, look, it comes in a pillowcase. Imagine that, on your door.
Nothing says luxury.
But it's full of delicious things. So I've got stuff here like my very special nose cheese. And I have to harvest that myself.
What is nose cheese?
Yeah, I bring it out of the side of my nose. Over a few months, you can get quite a...
And it's just the sort of the whitehead.
Yeah, but it's not just me, it's the whole family. It will have locked DNA in that cheese. And that is delicious if you're off your tits. And this is my back sack and cracklings. You can either have them as a snack or... they're like a sort of very sort of full-on saffron. Here's one of my favourites, Sean Tong. You know that biltong, that dried beef? This is dried bits of me. Scabs, basically. I've collected. And do you want to try? No, you don't, do you? And this is traditional gentleman's biffing. This is the product of more than one gentleman as well. Let's see if it's ready. Yeah, that's ready.
You might have to explain that to Michelle. She's not from round here.
Ah, well.
Biffin is, well, it's probably easiest if I show you. It's sort of a...
Is that
you
bit?
might call it the taint.
Oh, you guys call it the Biffin?
Well, yeah.
We've got it Biffin's Bridge.
Biffin's Bridge. Oh, I like that.
No, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you like this then? You like some Biffin?
It's quite gamey. OK, over in Dictionary Corner, it's Spencer Jones. All right, Spencer, how's the family?
Family's good, although the missus doesn't like my legs.
What?
Yeah, she's not keen on my legs. So what I've done is I've got this thing where you can make your legs a bit nicer. It gets a bit painful after about 10 seconds.
And with Spencer, of course, it's Susie Dent. Here's a fun fact. If someone buys a Susie Dent book, they automatically get a call from the Samaritans. What have you been researching recently?
Collective nouns. So we all know the normal ones, like murmuration of starlings or exaltation of larks. But if you just put modern collective nouns as a hashtag on Twitter, you get some brilliant ones back. So there was a drain of iPhone batteries, blur of opticians, foot hurt of Lego, and my favourite was a wunch of bankers.
And in charge of the numbers, we've got Rachel Riley. Here's 2 fun facts about Rachel. 1, she's never missed a day of work, and 2, she's never worked a day in her life. If you could trade brains with any one of our contestants, who would it be, Rachel?
That's easy. The less you know, the better you sleep. Rob Beckett.
Yes!
He looks happy.
I am a happy man.
He does look happy, but if you had those teeth, you look happy. OK, the prize the teams will be competing for tonight is this, the Countdown Hot Tub. OK, let's count down, everyone. Time for the first game. Sean, Michelle, you get the first pick of the letters.
Did I just pick letters?
No, you go vowel or consonant.
If you just pick a whole word, it would speed things up. Can I have tomorrow, please?
Longest word Rob knows?
You still didn't go for a 9.
OK, Michelle, pick some letters.
I'll do 2 consonants,
G, S,
a vowel,
E,
another consonant,
P,
another consonant,
L,
a vowel,
I,
a vowel,
O,
and 2 more consonants.
and R, and M.
OK, for the first time today, here's the countdown clock. Boring, isn't it, violin? Rob, how many?
7.
OK, John, how many?
Maybe an 8.
It's made you look like a dick, isn't he? Michelle, how many?
6.
6. Okay.
6.
Sean, 6. OK, Michelle, you're 6?
Groins.
Groins. OK, Sean, you're 6?
Resign.
OK. Rob, you're 7?
Spoiler.
Yeah. Don't be patronising. Spoiler. You're 8, John.
Well, I don't know if it's a word. Reposing.
Yeah.
You really need
Points for John. Could they have done any better?
A couple more 8s, spongia and resoling.
OK, so at the end of that, John and Rob are in the lead with 8. OK, John, Rob, you get a pick of the numbers.
2 big ones and the rest, whatever's left over.
Small ones.
Thank you.
2 big, 4 small. And
Okay.
they are 4, 5,
Sure.
10,
OK.
10,
Yeah.
100,
All the
25, and 330.
OK, and your time starts now. OK, so the target was 330. Michelle Wolf, I know you used to work on Wall Street. You must be pretty good with numbers. Did you get it?
No. I got 10 minus 4 equals 6, and then I stopped.
Sean, did you get it?
No.
John, did you get it?
I hope so. I think Big Dog's got it.
I think I've done it.
Rob, how do you think you did it?
Let's retract that round of applause. Just
Rob?
for-
No, well, don't. Rob, just tell us how you did it.
No, because I haven't done
Rob,
it. I haven't
tell us how you did it. John, don't be helping.
No, I've not done
If you
it.
swap that and
No,
that,
no, no.
then you're out.
No, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've done it.
Tell us what you did. It's the only way you'll learn.
I did 25 times 100, then I wrote down 250.
25 times 100.
Yeah, and
is
that's not
is
correct.
250. And then what
I'm
did
a lot
you do?
higher than I thought I would be at this stage.
But then what did you do?
Then I did 10 times 10.
Yeah. And would you put 1 million?
That was 100. Yeah, then what I did was, I thought that... What Rachel's managed to get to 2,500, when I did it was 250.
So you're saying Rachel's wrong?
Well, at the moment, that's what I'm getting. So I added 100 to my 250.
2,600, yeah.
Yeah, then I did 5 times 4, which is 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had 350. So I took 20 off my 350, and I got it. But what happened was I got too overexcited and I didn't do the first one right.
But in fairness, if you'd done 25 times 10 and then taken off the 100 that you had left over, you'd have got it.
Yeah, so what I've done is completely fucked it.
Yeah.
John.
25 plus 5 plus 4
Yeah.
is 34.
Yep.
Times by 10,
340.
and then take off the other 10.
That'll do it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. 10 points to John's team. So Sean and Michelle have no points so far, and John and Rob have 18.
But we have spirit. Ready? Let's do a cheer, Sean.
Yeah, you can't buy
Sean and Michelle. You know, the less enthusiastic he is, the more attracted I am to him.
And here is your teaser. The words are Rob Pervs. The clue is teach him a lesson. That's Rob Pervs, teach him a lesson. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser. The words were Rob Pervs. The clue was teach him a lesson. It was, of course, Proverbs. OK, they've been playing in teams so far, but this game is just for Sean and Rob. Rob, your turn to choose the letters.
Vowel.
A.
Vowel. Consonant.
P.
Consonant.
R.
Vowel.
It's quite important not to say please and just bark them at her.
Coming from you. slag anyone off for the first 20 minutes. Give it a large one, because I've not said please and thank you. I've not finished yet, Jim. Hurry up, consonant. Oh, sorry. A vowel, please.
Thanks, Rob.
Please, may I have a consonant?
D.
Bar consonant, please. That's enough. That's all right for everyone, is it?
Yep.
OK, and your time starts
Thank you.
now. Right. Christ, hang on. That's not working brilliantly.
That is your look.
Aye, aye.
It's like room service for Elton John.
Sean, how many?
You look so happy.
Six, Captain.
I've got 5.
Fine. What's your 5? What's your 5?
That's very good.
Look at that.
What's your 5?
For somebody who don't drive himself, you're quite good, aren't you?
What's your 5? Big fan of that. That's a bit of luck.
Fired.
Fired.
Yeah. Oh.
We've had a bit of an upset. Sean, what's your 6? What's your 6?
Draper.
That can't be good. Draper.
Draper.
Oh, that's good. Dictionary Corner. Could they have done any better? Having a wonderful time. I'm sailing on the ocean's blue. Could they have done any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
What could they have got?
Wait till you come round again.
I'll be over in a second. What could they have got?
A 7 parried.
6 points to Sean Steen. Fun, though. It only takes a minute to make. OK, so at the end of that, Sean and Michelle have 6. John and Rob have 18. Right. Now it's time for John and Michelle to go head-to-head. Michelle, your turn to pick the numbers.
Big number, and then the rest little numbers.
If you're struggling, John, just give me a nudge.
4 little ones. 2, 10, 4, 6, 175.
OK, so the target is 488. Your time starts now. OK, so the target was 488. Michelle, did you get it?
Yes.
OK. John, did you get it?
No, I didn't, no.
But you didn't even write anything. You just stared at the...
No, I think I went somewhere quite nice. I quite liked it wherever I was then.
It just blanked out.
I just let go then. I suddenly realised maybe none of this matters. I'm not even going to get that hot tub. Even if we win, you're not going to send that to my house. Oh, but it's not even a real hot tub.
Will you just cover up for the fact you couldn't do the sum?
I couldn't do it, yeah, that's really...
Michelle, how did you do it?
OK, so 6 times 75 is 450.
450?
4 times 10 is 40.
Yep.
Add those, and then minus 2.
That'll do. Well done.
10 points to Michelle. OK, so Sean and Michelle have 16, John and Rob have 18. Time now to go to the dictionary corner. Spencer, what have you got for us?
Right. Well, who here has heard of grown tubes?
Yeah, they make the noise when you...
Yeah. Some people, you know, yeah. Yeah? 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 How long have I got to do? Whole box. I had a couple of drinks and the internet and whee! And the missus is like, you're wasting your life. And so you now as well. Wait, whole box. 1, 2, 3. Because it's a bit rubbish, you get... Wait. Wait for me! I didn't get the email! 25 quid. She's like, I should have married your brother.
Okay, the scores at the moment, Sean and Michelle have 16, John and Rob have 18. And here is your teaser. The words are lubed, sir, and the clue is, would you like an extension? That's lubed, sir, would you like an extension? See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser. The words were lubed, sir. The clue was, would you like an extension? It was, of course, builders. OK, on to another letters game, and it's time to wrap up the tension. It's time for the tension round. In this game, we're playing for double points, so the pressure's on. Michelle, have you seen our tension round before?
Now I've heard about it.
So, yeah. You don't have to say ooh after every time I say the tension round. OK, are you... Maybe you do. I think our audience might be haunted. Do you do well under tension?
I'm not very good with sudden loud noises. I react to them like a cat. Like that, and I can't help it. Even if I know it's happening, fire at night for me is a joke. I can't deal with it.
John, how do you... Because you don't tend to react well to the loud noises, do you?
I hate this round.
What did I say? Are you laughing? Where did that come from?
My balls. I only had one left and it's gone. Are you trying to kill me? Is there more of that? Or is that it? Absolute shithouse.
OK, Sean, Michelle, you pick the letters.
A consonant, please, Rachel.
L.
A vowel, please.
I.
Consonant, please.
N.
Vowel.
U.
Consonant.
C.
Another consonant.
D.
Vowel.
A.
Vowel.
E.
Consonant.
And finally, M.
OK, double points for the tension round.
Hate it.
Now.
it's horrible.
How many letters?
5.
5. OK. John, how many?
9.
No.
Maybe.
A 9. That would be
Maybe.
double points. That would be 18 points. This is Hugh.
Well, it's 18 points anyway, so it would be 36. But hey, who gives a shit? It's only a game.
Yes, Sean, boom! Man like Rico.
It's probably not even a real hot tub.
OK. So 36 points on the line, right? Michelle, how many?
I think I have 7, but I don't think it's a word.
Them's the breaks. Sean?
6.
6. OK. Rob, let's hear your 5.
Named.
Named.
Yeah, but it was like being in Laser Quest, didn't it? Is it a word?
Yes.
Michelle, what's your 7?
Unmetal?
What, sorry?
Unmetal?
Oh, when something isn't metal, like wood.
Very American.
No. Like when you get a medal taken away from you. Like you had the gold medal, but then you took steroids and they found out, so now they unmedaled you.
Unmedal. Susie Dent?
Well, medal is in there as a verb, so but unmedal isn't.
Very nice.
Yeah, all those letters are in that book, but unfortunately, in that order, it doesn't work.
Sean, you're...
Mailed.
Mailed.
Yep.
Or maiden or unmade.
Or made nor unmade. All right, lovely. OK, John, for 36 points, do you have a 9-letter word?
Unclaimed.
It's in. Well done.
Oh! I mean, on your feet, everyone. On your feet. I mean, Hugh.
Seems a shame that there isn't any confetti left to let off.
So you got a 9-letter word with double points for that, so 18, double that, because it was the tension round, 36 points. So, Michelle and Sean, yeah.
I think it'd be silly to carry on now.
Yeah, no, I mean...
You can't
I think...
really top that, can you?
Well, I have to admit, we cheated as well.
What do you mean you cheated?
He told me the numbers when to the math problem.
Oh, dear.
I wasn't going to admit it if we won, but we lost.
I mean, that would have really pissed me off, but it's just water under Biff Innsbridge.
You know the prize, you were saying earlier, the hot tub, you probably don't get the hot tub. But if it's all right with Michelle, I think the winners tonight should get a tarantula to take home.
I think that may go unclaimed.
Well, no, we might just pop it on John's head at the end of the game.
It would help you out at the back, to be honest.
OK, so at the end of that, John and Rob are in the lead with 54 points. OK, time to go across to Dictionary Corner one last time. Spencer, what have you got for us?
Well, I'd like the help of someone from the audience, if that's all right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Will you come and help me out? Yeah, you go there and just see how it goes.
Why you getting me on stage, man? Oh, I didn't wanna see the show, no. Why you putting me on the front row? I should've never sat on the front row. The lady forced me to the front row. Now everybody's gonna see me, so no. Well, yeah, this is my mouth now, baby. I do a little kiss when you see me. And here is my eye now, baby. I do a little wink when you see me. I'm showing my ears now, baby. Flappy, flappy, flap, then you hear me. Now we're back to the mouth now, baby. Let's do some exploring, baby. Exploring me, yeah. Get your hands all over me. Well, my armpits, they need a clean.
Yeah, like an overweight skunk.
My armpits, they really need a clean. They need a clean now. Well, yeah, this is my nipple, baby. It's just a normal nipple, baby. Okay, yeah, it got pierced, baby. There's a word over top says maybe, baby, but you know, this is I don't know what to do with it, baby. It's kind of a weird nipple, baby. It goes ding, 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 ding.
Spencer Jones, everyone. OK, the scores at the moment, Sean and Michelle have 16 points, and that is nothing compared to John and Rob, because they've got 54. And here is your final teasers. The words are piss lane. The clue is that feels nice. That's piss lane. That feels nice. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser. The words were piss lane. The clue was that feels nice. It was, of course, painless. OK, time for our final letters game. John and Rob, your turn to choose.
Please come a vowel.
O.
Please may I have a consonant.
G.
A vowel, please.
A.
Consonant.
S.
Consonant.
C.
Consonant.
X.
Vowel, please.
O.
Vowel.
E.
Consonant, please.
And R.
Thank you very much.
OK, and your 30 seconds starts now. This is boring. I might watch telly. Can't find the remote. Rob, how many?
I've got a 6, but I'm not sure if it's a word.
Quite a lot of coins down here. OK. John, how many?
I've got a 6, but I don't think it'll be in the dictionary.
Sean, how many?
Well, I had a 7, but then I realised I don't have a 7.
Well, it's a lovely story. Thanks for that journey. You got nothing?
Well, I've got a 3.
Michelle,
And you
how many?
have spirit.
Yes, and I've got spirit. And even though the odds seem insurmountable, I'm going to keep playing.
Michelle?
I have 5.
I think I found the remote. Hang on, I'll get out. Got it. What was your 3?
Goo. I had go, and then I saw the other O, and I thought, zippity-doo-dah.
OK. Michelle, your 5?
I had saxes, as in multiple. You play the sax, you get more of them, and then you have saxes.
Sax. Saxes.
Yeah. Oh.
I've got a 6.
Your 6. What's your 6?
Gooser.
Gooser.
Because I felt safe with goose, but I wanted to get a 6. And I thought a gooser might be someone that
If you
gets all the goose together.
Yeah, I mean...
Like a goose shepherd. Can you get goosed?
Goose in that sense, but you can't be a gooser.
So Sean is currently in the lead with a 3-letter word, goo. John, your 6.
Croissant.
What's it?
Croissant.
Just talk me through what does croissant mean?
Croeso I Cymru. Welcome to Wales.
Oh.
Oh.
Croissant.
Well. It's in.
That's it. OK, Spencer, could they have done any better?
Yeah, the 2 7s, coaxers and cargos.
OK, so Sean and Michelle have 16, John and Rob have 60. OK, fingers on buzzers, it's time for today's Countdown Conundrum. It couldn't be less crucial. You are so far in the lead, but why not rub their noses in it? Your time starts now.
Waterfall.
No! No! Let's have a look. Yes. So the final scores are Sean and Michelle have 16, John and Rob have 70 points. Congratulations, John and Rob. You're now the proud owner of this, the Countdown Tarantula. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Coming up next Friday, and that means time to leg it with the lads to the studio, joined tonight by David Mitchell and Zawe Ashton. Monday at 9, celebs are swapping paparazzi for policing as the famous fight crime.